Alright, and good morning, good morning. Today we're going to take a look at some Famille Rose Canton porcelain ware. Most of this is exported from China. Some of it looks like remanufactured uh, either through Hong Kong at some point or sometimes shipped off to France, where Ormolu is added. And I don't think these are through France. I think these are done in Asia. But let's take a look. So Famille Rose, we have the rose pattern family of porcelain wares. Most commonly plates, vases, servingware, accessories, etc. Um, and so the first thing you see on the Famille Rose is going to be this sort of rose pattern that uh, has medallion plates within it that should depict scenes. This is actually quite an extraordinary example, and we'll start here. This one that sold for $900. Frankly, this is a market that I think is, if you want to get some great stuff, I think Famille Rose is not as, the price is not as pushed as some of the other categories right now. And this is really, oh yes, this is better. Let's use this zoom here. I mean, you really get some lovely scenes here. These well-painted dragons on top, and just really fantastic work in the rose patterned area of these vases. And you get this, I'm not sure what about this scene actually specifically reminds me a little bit more of some of the Qianlong stylization, but I would think um, these are quite nice. And at $900, I think this is quite a fair price. Um, yeah, what a great look these have to them. I mean, you'll see later when we get to more styles and patterns that this really is intricate, and I mean, especially even down to the level of the care put into drawing the leaves and the patterns. We have the slight handles, which are nice, and the shape really is, kind of. I think the shape does kind of harken to the Qianlong way of shaping vases, etc. Um, but this is really nice. You get really nice cloud leaf work, some nice vines. Actually, I think those are the dragons extending around. Oh, that's kind of cool. Um, and yes, of course, we get the butterflies. Probably, I mean, pretty comfortably after 1870. Um, after that, it gets a little harder to date. I think looking at some of the stylization, it does remind me of some of the revival styles of the late 19th century, a little bit of crossover there. Um, this is a very cool piece. 900 seems about right. Very nice. So here, like I was saying, that there are deals to be had. A couple things to notice about this one here. Um, first thing that I notice when I look at this is we don't have the black coloration uh, in the rim as a border outline, which to me is a really good sign for age, um, or age and authenticity. So this probably, I would be thinking this 1870, 1880. They've got 1875 right on there. That sounds about right given the depictions on here. Really a lovely piece, and then looks like in pretty good condition. Do we have any condition marks? Excellent condition, no chips and cracks. $415 is a steal. And you look at these lovely scenes that are drawn with care, and there's emotion and feeling, as opposed to scenes that you see that are more hastily drawn and kind of just drawn as decor and not necessarily drawn as part of a story. This is probably a story bowl. I have no idea what the depiction is, but Yep, that looks good for late 19th century, maybe a little later than 1875, frankly, looking at that base, but a really nice thing. And I think 415 is frankly kind of soft on price. I mean, I would go much higher starting at $1. I would go much higher in pricing this, but uh, certainly a good return. And looks like this place has some nice things, so to go ahead and follow them sometime. Let's see what they've got here. We've got the tray. Let's see the other things that came out of that estate. My apologies for the detour. Sometimes these are interesting things we can learn. Yes, what a lovely estate they must have just went through. Some really nice things. This is a blank de Chine. Guan Yin is lovely. The bowl is lovely. The table screens are also fantastic. Excellent. So, all right. So back to the porcelain or the Famille Rose Medallion porcelain. This is a cool piece that I picked out for a couple reasons. It's a very squarely 19th century, but it's also a very high quality production. And that's something that's really unique about it looking, and I'm not too surprised it's sold. Single plate selling for $250, definitely worth paying attention to. So some things to look at here. Um, first and foremost to me, I love seeing the monogram in the center because it means this was a set that was probably made for someone that was ordered in the mid to late 19th century. And just thinking about everything that goes into that and the rarity of this being a product of cross-ocean communication, the Amazon of the day. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Another thing that's cool here is we have a lot more uh, delicate frames, medallions for these scenes. They almost look like, the stylization of like an apple or a tomato, which gives this, just kind of a cleaner feel. It's kind of very interesting. Uh, you know, it is also, it's a less aggressive patterning. Um, yeah, this is interesting. And we've got the rim butterflies, but none on the inside. Quite a nice thing. And looks like we've got some courtyard scenes. Maybe, can't tell. It looks like we're outside. So some courtyard scenes. Very cool. Really interesting piece. 250. That seems fair. And here, this is what I kind of consider to be the steal of the when I look through results. And this is why eBay is a great place to shop if you know what you're looking for. And I thought this was interesting, and I rather liked this sort of scene that we had on it. And there is a little bit of interesting decor on here. I like the sort of top rings that are coming out of the Famille Rose pattern, and then to get these sort of wheels on the back is kind of cool as well. But the thing I really wanted to see, it's funny, oh goodness. Oh, I've been here. I've been trying to take a picture, and the glare is so strong. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, this painting is so well. I'd really want to see this one in person. Let's see. So this looks like it was done or redone in the 60s. Maybe a little later. Kind of looks like 70s, 80s. Huh. It could be a very nice vintage Famille Rose piece. And the thing is for $160 and $15 shipping, which is terrifying for a lamp. that doesn't seem that bad. And like I rather like the like warlord scene that's going on here. I'd love to have a better idea of what this is depicting. I would think even if this is vintage and they say it's antique, they say it's 1860. I could see it. I could see it, and I could also see it not being that. And I don't care either way. This is a lovely price. It's a really fair price for this. This what's the size? Porcelain 9.5 inches high. Well, yeah, $160. That really seems like a good deal. I think that's a great piece of porcelain for that price. So, well, I hope you learned something. Famille Rose is a very important category or style of Chinese porcelain that's just everywhere. It kind of explodes in production after the 1860s, and really 1860 to sort of 1960 is just this, uh, you know, powerhouse of style. And it wouldn't say it ever really goes away. It kind of turns into the colorful, kitschy wares that we see today and associate uh, with modern Chinese porcelain. So, well, hey, thanks for sticking around. Make sure to drop that like and hit the subscribe, and come hang out with us in the future. We really appreciate it. Thanks. Have a good one.